House of Representatives pushes for police equipment. Reps want public officers exempted from police withdrawal. And House demands release of 30 billion naira for social investment program. Hello and welcome to You and Your Reps, your weekly window into the work of Nigeria's lawmakers. I am Victor Azo. Thanks for joining us. The House of Representatives is calling for the urgent procurement of modern security equipment to strengthen the Nigeria Police Force following the nationwide emergency declaration by President Bola Tinubu. Lawmakers say the move is crucial to boosting the capacity of the police to respond effectively to rising security threats across the country.
The security emergency declared by the president naturally comes with expectations for results, and lawmakers harp on the need for deployment of state-of-the-art security equipment to boost the capacity of the Nigeria Police Force at combating security threats. The House has asked the Nigeria Police Trust Fund to come up with a comprehensive plan to upgrade and deploy critical equipment across police divisions and security formations nationwide, urging the Federal Ministry of Finance to expedite the procurement processes,
including tenders, vendors evaluation, contract awards, and procurement of vehicles, surveillance and communication equipment, prioritize distribution of equipment and logistics assets to high-risk and conflict-prone zones identified in the Security Emergency Declaration.
On the alleged removal of computer science and some foundational subjects from the revised secondary school curriculum, the House called on the Federal Ministry of Education to rescind the decision.
It is worrisome that at a time when the world is going digital, especially in the educational sector, and Nigeria is trying to catch up, that you remove a fundamental subject like computer science. How will such students learn the basis?
Removing computer science at this jet age from our school curriculum, I don't think it makes sense.
Lawmakers sought investigation into the revocation of more than 4,000 mining licenses from 2023 to date without adequate notice.
Worried that Section 5 of the Mining Act mandates that license holders must be given adequate notice, fair hearing and compliance timelines before revocation, and such action must be justified.
The House also expressed concern that the Abakaliki-Obubara Federal Highway has become a death trap owing to its deplorable conditions.
Urge the federal government, through the Federal Minister of Works, the matter of necessity to mobilize the contractor back to the site in order for them to immediately commence the construction of the abandoned Abakaliki-Iko-Ofrekpa and Obubara Road.
A bill for an act to repeal the National Identity Management Commission Act and provide for establishment of National Identity Database and the National Identity Management Commission was passed after consideration by the Committee of the Whole.
The House of Representatives is appealing to the presidency to exclude serving public officers from the directive withdrawing police personnel from VIP protection duties. Now, this is part of several resolutions adopted as fallout of the recent House debate on worsening insecurity, with all decisions to be forwarded to the executive for action.
Some of the resolutions include placing all security expenditure on first-line charge, security coverage for schools and worship centers, and the establishment of a special court to try cases of terrorism, banditry, and kidnapping. The House also advocates prohibition of ransom payments, reactivation and upgrade of all public CCTV systems, and establishment of new police and defense formations in volatile regions. On VIP protection, lawmakers harped on the vulnerability of serving public officers.
Those who are protecting our justice system shouldn't be so exposed that they will be silenced before delivering the justice for which we selected them to work for the nation. For me, I would not be comfortable for the CJN of this country to move around without protection.
Deployment of police and military personnel for VIP protection should be diligently enforced with the exception of serving public officers.
Those who are also going to be exempted, maybe one person will be engaged with 10 police officers, which is irrelevant. One person will be followed with 10 police officers. Once there are a lot of vulnerable areas that they're supposed to be engaged.
Any advanced country, advanced system, they don't use guns to protect individual and VIPs. It's intelligence gathering technology that protects.
The House drew attention to the spate of abductions in Kogi State, with commuters and worshippers as victims, attributing the deplorable condition of the Kaba-Egbe Road and mining activities among factors.
Urge the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to put a complete stop to all mining activities in Yagba East, Yagba West, and Mopamufere constituency as an antidote to the constant terrorist attack fueled by the so-called miners. To further urge the President to mandate the security chief to comb all the forests and rescue the abductees, both in Ejiba and Idofin, from the abductors.
Elsewhere, the House of Representatives is pressing for the remittance of over 30 billion naira to the National Social Investment Program Agency to enable it carry out its mandate. Lawmakers also set up an ad hoc committee to trace the funds, which they say were recovered following a presidential probe by anti-graft agencies.
The House is seeking the whereabouts of billions of naira recovered after President Tinubu ordered an investigation into alleged financial infractions in the social investment programs. Lawmakers lament that the programs are now in limbo and needs to be resuscitated.
Credible sources have indicated that this recovered funds estimated at over 30 billion have not been remitted into NCPA's designated Treasury single account, thereby stalling program implementation and leaving millions of intended beneficiaries without the social and economic support envisioned by the federal government.
The House condemned the killing of 5 policemen during a lawful operation in Darazo local government area of Bauchi State, calling for justice and compensation for families of the affected personnel.
Disturbed that the credible intelligence linking the attack to armed group resisting the arrest of the dethroned hamlet head of Sabon Sara village, whose actions pose a continued threat to security and community stability.
Mandate the relevant security agencies to immediately deploy additional security personnel to Zalau town and surrounding communities to restore order, reinforce surveillance, and deter further attacks.
And at the close of plenary week, we caught up with the member representing Enugu East, issues of federal constituency, Professor Paul Nnamchi, for his take on the shared position of the House on Nigeria's security situation.
To stem down the tide of continual violence in the country, set up also a policy that will align all the security agencies into one philosophy. The House wants end to the violence, but at the same time, a strategy, not just for today, but for tomorrow, to stop continuous violence in the country. Professionalization of security institutions. One will be the building of the traditional systems, so that the traditional institution will have a role to play, because these part of the reasons why there's this security institution is breakdown in community efforts. There's no community relationship. People don't respect elders again, and also you would also know that this is poverty and insecurity feed themselves. It's a closed loop. But there's no lack of economic system, economic well-being, there will be insecurity. And you would also know that largely from people from the age of 18 to 35, half of them are either unemployed or underemployed. This is a very big pool for insecurity and also violence to continue. Also, most importantly, it's for the state, trust between the states and the citizens. And the House of Rep has also made it a point of duty to x-ray what they do in the media so that people will see the effort they make to make sure that the country moves forward. People are exploiting the fault lines in our identity, where this person is from here, this person is from here. And whereby people now use those fault lines to attract political groupings, violence, and also to get people attracted to themselves by what they say. They are propagating one group or the other. And when you attract those criminals now see those things as a mission rather than a crime, because they now think that they are going to do what is right, not just that they're going to commit crime. So it becomes a mission for their region or for their religion and all that. These are part of the things that have been exploited. So there's need also to collaborate the various religious groups to know that all of them should be geared towards doing what is good. All of them should also move towards know that they are serving one God. Every religion is virtually serving one God. Nobody says he's serving a God elsewhere instead of the Almighty God. All of them serve. It just depends on the way you're moving, approach, or say, for example, if some of us are born in the South, we are born in the North, they will be Muslims. If some people that were born in the North, we are born in the South, they will be Christians, some part of the Christians. So these are part of it. We shouldn't see religion as things that should divide our people. Religion should be things that will bind us together. After all, all of them are for peace. So why not? Why is the violence being used to orchestrate it? It's a wrapped incentive system where people feel not belonging to where they're supposed to be, where people feel that they are not really taking into consideration the systems, where you see that things are not really working, where you see the lack of federal presence and the lot more. That's what is failing it. People have to look for job. They have to leave their region to look for job elsewhere because they want federal job. And also this is also for economic deprivation. We also want where most of the people in the Southeast want to have the same equal opportunity that others have. And that's actually that perception of not being carried along, perception of not having the same equal opportunity, perception of marginalization, perception of lack of social amenities, perception of being squashed by security apparatus from one pole to the other. You have security point and all that. All this add up to these things that people are clamoring for. This is a perception, and for a long time, it should have been addressed before now. Maybe from the time of the 3 hours, the construction and all that, but it go on. Whether it was followed through or not followed through, it's a long time to say. I'm not part of the Constitutional Amendment Committee, but it is what we're doing now and what we're also voting for, to bring one, to streamline it into one state, that others will also now that will now vote and lobby others to also join us to balance things, to have equity, to have equality of representation, and also to show that others will have empathy, and that will show love to one another. That the country is, which when all of us have empathy, feel equality, fully equal, then the society will be a better place to be. Or rather, Nigeria will be a better place for all of us to be. I also feel that it is better for us to be together because of this thing. If all what is good for the goose is also good for the gender. For a long time, part of the deprivation is lack of federal amenities. And today, the federal government has graciously given us a University of Agriculture, which I'm also moving for it to pass to the University of Agriculture, Innovation and Development. I've just put that bill so that it can be expanded. So that's where people can get work. That's where we want to advance innovation in agriculture and in all other fields. Our people are very industrious, very artistic, very creative, And I'm sure that the sustainable development goals will be achieved when we have such things in our area, because they are well-to-do, thoughtful, and also engaging in whatever they do. And I'm very, very sure their entrepreneuring is in their DNA of the Southeasterner. And I'm sure everybody knows about that. And I'm very, very convinced that once the enabling environment is there, like the president said, the Taiwan of Africa will emerge in the Southeast.
This week on Legislative Terms and Tools, we are defining a small section of every bill, but one that carries big meaning, the explanatory memorandum. It is the part that tells you what a bill is about at a glance. And as usual, Chairman of the House Committee on Rules and Business, Francis Waive, is on hand to break it all down for us.
Yeah, the explanatory memorandum is part of the law itself that kind of explains, gives a background view of what the piece of legislation is all about. So when you are making law and you, at the back of it or the bottom of it, this explanatory memorandum goes on to say the purpose of this is this, to cure this, to cure that, to do this, to do that. Now, it helps the when they want to argue before a court of law who interprets the law. They want to know the intent of the law, what was in the minds of the lawmakers when that law was made. So the explanatory memorandum gives that background that helps you to capture, understand better the content of the law.
This week on the committee segment, the spotlight turns to police affairs in the wake of President Tinubu's declaration of a state of emergency on security. We speak with the chairman of the House Committee on Police Affairs, Abubakar Maki Yalleman, who represents Malam Maduri, Kaugama Federal Constituency of Jigawa State, on what the emergency declaration means for policing operations and public safety across the country.
Kudos to Mr. President for him declaring state of emergency on security. Immediately you can see that the kind of step that started taking, and even directed the Inspector General of Police to withdraw all the VIPs, police VIPs, police attached to the VIPs, in which he mopped up almost 11,566. They are going to be useful in some areas that we are having serious insecurity. We finished deliberating. We have consolidated a report in which, if you could recall vividly, there was a time that I even raised up and talked particularly item 15, where the chairman and the deputy speaker who chaired the committee of the whole deliberated on the outcome of our discussion on the security issues, that the pronunciation of Mr. President directing the Inspector General of Police to withdraw all police attached to VIPs. I said we should be specific, in which you can understand both me and him. He's saying that members are not VIPs. I say in a layman's perspective, members, or even those who are not even close to being members, they are VIPs. Because who are following, the police officers, who are they following? We the politicians, myself inclusive. So you understand. So pulling them out is to secure and protect the image of the nation. Because all what we are discussing, there are issues of internal insecurity. And internal insecurity is suddenly the schedule of police. But we are not given that opportunity. But I really appreciate Mr. President trying to bring a new reform to police, encouraging the Inspector General of Police already, in which he started, but his handicap, in which during our sitting, I mentioned them, financial. If you can finance our police, they can do wonders for you. We have police officers who are well trained. They need motivation and encouragement. The environment they are living must be an environment that will encourage you to stay and be there. But for the past years, police have been neglected. I'm telling you, this kind of reform, the Inspector General of Police came up with it and accepted by Mr. President. God willing, I'm congratulating the current police officers in advance. You know, when you are talking of security, you don't politicize it. And like the Christopher Musa, being the CDS, immediate past CDS, being replaced with my boss, who's almost a father to me, the Minister of Defense, in a political aspect of it. But when you look at the angle, the way how Mr. President send state of emergency on security and bring the immediate past CDS to become the chairman as the Minister of Defense. So it's a point of appreciation to Mr. President that at least he's serious on handling the current situation we find ourselves.
And that's you and your reps for this week. I'm Victor Azo. Thank you for watching. See you next time.